Searching for a review or just news about the GWR IET on YouTube or Google search will give you some not so favorable results. Today, we're going to find out why that is on a trip between Penzance and Reading. So without further ado, let's go. Hello and welcome to Penzance. After arriving in this wonderful seaside town earlier this morning on the Night Riviera, I'm back at the train station to catch an afternoon intercity train back to Reading. The station, dating back to 1852, is also one of the few places in England that you can find HSTs in revenue service nowadays, as most of them have been retired off mainline intercity rail. The station itself is quite simple, featuring a ticketing hall, some bathrooms, a parking lot, and a small vendor outside where you can get some food. Aside from that though, what I do find interesting is that this station actually has a lounge. If you were in the US and at a station of this size, you will not be finding a lounge. So this is the train that will take me to Reading. It is a Class 802, which is pretty much indistinguishable from the Class 800. The Class 802 has been in service since 2018, and like the Class 800, this train has seen its fair share of criticism, mostly due to the onboard seating. So here we are on board in standard class. Seats are laid out in a 2+2 configuration with a mix of airline style and bays of 4. My seat today is located in a bay of 4 and is seat number 28. As you can see on the seat reservation screens, it is reserved until Reading. So time for a seat tour. The legroom is pretty adequate, even if there is someone sitting in front of you. Under each seat, you'll find a UK-style power plug, so remember to bring your adapter. There is a huge wide table, as well as an adjustable armrest on each side. Here we get to one of the major criticisms of these trains, and that is these seats in standard class. While they are not as bad as I thought, they are still not great and do make you want to go up and walk around if you are taking a longer journey in them like I am. Moving on, we have some coat hooks, as well as a window blind that covers the entire window, and a see-through overhead rack, and last but not least, the aforementioned seat reservation system. Lastly, let's take a quick look at how things are in the airline style seats. There is drastically reduced legroom in these, while the seats themselves are pretty much the same. These airline style seats do have these hilariously small fold down tables, which are actually a bit more sturdier than I thought. So what do I think about these seats? While they're not as bad as I thought, they still don't hold a candle to the standard class seats on other intercity trains I've been on, like the ICE or the Northeast Regional, and etc. Our route today will see us heading from the Cornwall region of England to right near the capital, taking around 4.5 hours. Despite the tracks being electrified starting in Newbury, since we won't stop there, our train will operate on diesel for this entire trip. Do keep in mind though, if you are taking this train from Penzance to London, trains will switch to electric overhead wire power starting in Reading, which is subsequently where I'm getting off.
Welcome aboard this Great Western Railway service to London Paddington. We'll be calling at St. Irv, Campbell, Redruth, Truro,
Time to take a quick look around this train. First things first, in the vestibule, you'll find these small bike compartments, as well as a network map of the GWR rail network and a bathroom. Speaking of which, let's check it out real quick.
Welcome aboard the 1642 the departure to London Paddington. This service now called Union Avenue Exeter.
The bathroom is modern and well lit, but the floor could use a bit of cleaning up. Aside from that though, everything is well stocked and everything in the bathroom is in working order. Let's continue to check out the rest of the train. Here we are in standard class, which is laid out in a 2+2 configuration. In comparison, here is first class, which is laid out in a 1-2 configuration. It also features more plush seats and a permanent table instead of one that folds down. So as this journey comes to a close, what do I think about GWR's IET trains? I honestly have to say, I am pleasantly surprised. I really did not think these trains were really that bad. However, I do not live in the UK, so I do not have any day-to-day experience commuting on these trains. I do think the only bad things, at least in my opinion, about these trains are the seats, which are not great at all, and the absence of a bar or cafe car. Lastly, what was the price for this trip? Since I was traveling with family and on a discount, my advance single ticket costed me £12.25. However, this can vary, so I would make sure to check the GWR website for prices. I would recommend this train though. However, I do hope in the future, if GWR and other British rail companies would take seat comfort in mind when ordering new trains, that would be a great thing, because I would not call the seats, at least in standard class, on board these trains next gen. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe. This is the 4905 here, and I will see you next time.
Service platform number 1 at 19A. European Broadway stop in service platform 16A at 1912 at